Hi. It's your boy Two-Way Ray, a part of Nefarious Media Network and Styles Break Fights. And let's go over what's happening this week in MMA. While there wasn't a lot of action happening inside the cage, there was plenty of action happening inside the courtroom involving the worldwide leader of mixed martial arts in the UFC. There was supposed to have been 3 straight days of testimony within the second class action lawsuit brought against the promotion, this one under the principal fighter name of Cajun Johnson. If you recall, the first class action lawsuit brought against the company under the principal fighter Kung Lee, which covered fighters who served in the promotion prior to the year of 2017, was settled back in 2025 under a disclosed amount of $375 million. This case, under Johnson's name, is being brought against the UFC for fighters who have fought after the year 2017. There's also an additional class action suit under the name of Phil Davis. So again, there was supposed to have been 3 straight days of testimonies on Tuesday and Thursday. There were supposed to have been the key testimonies of the UFC's 2 matchmakers, Mick Maynard and Sean Shelby, respectively, while on Wednesday, there should have been the testimony of a neutral, court-appointed expert witness. Shout out to Alessandro Gelke, who's a writer and reporter who was actually on scene and in the courtroom during this particular day of proceedings. He says for Tuesday, quote, "Very good day for plaintiffs in the UFC antitrust hearing. Mick Maynard was on the stand. Plaintiffs showed evidence Maynard was clearly deleting texts while under litigation hold. When the defendants questioned Maynard, the judge reamed them leading repeatedly. When asked about Shelby's testimony on Thursday, Gelke responded, Shelby was on the stand yesterday. He said, I don't recall a bunch," end quote. So you're probably asking yourself, Ray, you already talked about Tuesday with Mick Maynard's testimony, and you talked about Thursday with Sean Shelby's testimony. What happened on Wednesday when there was supposed to have been a court-appointed neutral expert witness? Well, that's a whole different story. This comes from the good folks over at Fight Opinion. They said, alert, Judge Richard Boulware's digital evidence court expert Eric Whedon was dismissed from the UFC antitrust case today after a judge determined Mr. Whedon and his report lacked credibility. This piece of information comes directly from the court proceedings. At 2:12 p.m., quote, court in session for sealed proceedings, later unsealed by the court concerning Mr. Whedon's testimony as to the iPhone 11 Pro. The court proposes Mr. Whedon be excused and his testimony and report be excluded. The court hears opinions and concerns of the parties. Mr. Whedon's and the defense experts' reports are ordered filed on the record under seal. The court advises counsel as to the orders to be issued from the bench. For reasons stated on the record, incorporated by reference, Mr. Whedon is excused as a court expert. A more detailed minute order regarding these matters shall follow at a later date. So there appears to be some chicanery afoot with the aforementioned iPhone 11 Pro, which was actually Dana White's phone that was given for evidence. Apparently, some of the information has been scrubbed from the phone, which leads the judge to possibly believe that Mr. Whedon, the court-appointed expert, may have something to do with it, hence his recusal from the case. There's so many things going on with this case. I will keep you posted at a later date involving any other updates involving Zuffa versus Johnson. In other news involving mixed martial arts, the PFL, Professional Fighters League, has appointed a new Chief Communications Officer, the first ever Chief Communications Officer under the umbrella Suzy Berkowitz. Now, Ms. Berkowitz does have previous experience among the areas of public relations, media relations, communications, and marketing. While this hiring may go under the radar, I think it's going to be a big deal, especially being hired by the new CEO, John Martin, in an attempt to grow the name of the PFL even more within not only the sport, but also outside of the sport. Finally, this is a particular big fight week as UFC holds UFC 329, which will be the culmination of International Fight Week. Amongst the festivities on Thursday will be the induction ceremony of the UFC Hall of Fame class of 2026. This includes former champions Chris Weidman, Demetrius Johnson, and Dominic Cruz being inducted within the modern wing. This also includes the first fight between Zhang Wei Li and Joanna Jędrzejczyk being inducted within the fight wing. And lastly, being inducted under the contributor wing will be UFC.com editorial director and longtime combat sports writer, the late Thomas Gerbasi. And the culminating event for International Fight Week will be UFC 329, which has the returning Conor McGregor, who's facing up against Max Holloway, who's looking to get some redemption as Conor McGregor won the first fight. So as I mentioned, the headliner being Conor McGregor against Max Holloway. We also have Benoit Saint Denis versus Paddy Pimblett in the co-main, a battle of two top lightweights. Then we have a top bantamweight contender, Corey Sandhagen, facing off against Mario Batista. Then we have two top contenders in the flyweight division as Brandon Royval heads up against Lonnie Kavanaugh. And the beginning fight, the opening fight for the pay-per-view will be King Green facing off against Terrence T-Rex McKinney. Some highlights in the prelims, we have Robert Whittaker going up in weight to light heavyweight to face Nikita Krylov. We have Gable Steveson making his UFC debut. We also have Cody Garbrandt, former UFC champion, facing off against Adrian Yanez. And we have Tracy Cortez in one of the featured bouts on the prelims. So stay tuned right here on Nefarious Media Network and Styles Break Fights for any updates leading up to the main card, which heads off a week of festivities for International Fight Week. Myself and Jay Lacey will be back here for an extended episode of Styles Break Fights as we cover and recap UFC 329. If you want to get any of our personal feelings about the fighters, especially Conor McGregor and his return, stay tuned for that particular episode. With that, thank you guys for staying tuned. This is a new thing I'm trying to try out with some news updates in the world of combat sports and mixed martial arts as a whole. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Please like, share, and subscribe if you are so willing and if you're so able. Thank you very much. This has been Two Way Ray signing out. Peace out.